Okay, we're live. How you doing, Matt?
I am horrible. This is the
Yeah,
worst
of
day
course
of
we
my
are.
no. Actually, life is fucking fantastic. Listen, I have beer. I have great family. I have
Mm.
great weather. I live in a great environment. I have a awesomely fantastical, beautiful child who's mesmerizing and delicious and all the same things. And honestly,
And you
listen,
got a great dog watching out for the kid as well.
I got two great dogs. I technically have three great dogs because there's
Mm.
Pepper, who is basically a part of the family, and
Oh, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Recorded a podcast at noon my time with Peter from Master Hoppet, so I've had a couple beers, so everything's okay.
That's cool, man. It's 10 p.m. for me. I've had a few beers today. I'm going in fucking fantastic, actually. Maybe a little bit too happy, but there you go. Can you be too happy?
Yeah, yeah, you
Mm,
can.
I guess.
It's like you ever meet that person that's just so cheerful and happy no matter what happens that you end up hating them because it's just show me something other than happy. Like it's kind of the old adage, the old Eddie Murphy joke, which is you could eat steak every day, but if you have it every day, eventually it becomes like boring and ho hum and all that kind of shit. But then, if you haven't had one of those great things in a while and you have it, like the Ritz cracker, Ritz crackers are basic. You
Yeah.
don't flip out of a Ritz cracker. But if you're on a desert island for a year and then someone gives you Ritz, you'd be like, that's the best fucking thing I've ever eaten in my life. So
Right?
it's called variety is a spice of life, along with a little touch of moderation.
Matt, you are a wizard with words.
I'm testing my sage parental advice on you. It's all going to go to Micah eventually, but we're just test betting it on YouTube.
I'm honored, actually. I'm also, in the meantime, I wanted to do something. I'm sending the link to somebody who I think would love to join as well, if he can. I'm sending the link to. Jesus fuck.
I think I can guess.
Yeah, he just popped up in the.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This is actually a little. Wait, why am I being so. Invite? I'm being a bit more. I'm being very difficult here. So I just sent the link to somebody, and if he wants to join, he can. So the entire purpose of this little live stream is a little discussion that I've been having in my own head, and I usually have a lot of discussions going on in my own head, and they're fun. Is a while ago, I was checking out this beer on Untappd a few weeks ago, and it was a porter. It was a 5 and change percent ABV porter. And the person checking it in was like, yeah, it tastes pretty fun, but compared to all the imperial stouts that I'm drinking, it's a bit thin and weak. And it got me thinking, people are drinking these sort of modern takes on a lot of styles and not really appreciating them, I think, for what they are in terms of the modern context, but also judging older beer styles that are still being brewed in that older fashion compared to the newer styles. And a lot of these people are jumping straight into a lot of modern new styles, like, New England style IPAs, the pastry stouts, without getting used to the older versions of IPAs and porters and lower ABV stouts, and not really getting used to what they used to be compared to what they're these days. But that sounds like a curmudgeon and a bit of a, everything used to be better in the olden days kind of way. And also want to take a look at these newer styles and appreciate them for what they are and how beer is an evolving thing. And in the last, what's it been, like 6,000 years that beer has been brewed, give or take?
Since the beginning of mankind. The whole reason why humans exist is because of beer. If people don't realize, go look back in your old Mesopotamia days, and like basically what happened was human life existed originally in Africa, and the reason why people left and explored and went out into the world to move was to find places to grow grains to make their version of beer. So like literally beer created civilization. So
there we go. This is a great point. Maybe in a little while I will pick up this comic I once got as a gift. It's the history of beer in a comic, and it's magnificent. It's fantastic, and maybe I can show it. But yeah, the point is, let's talk about that. So first off, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Pilsner. So we're going to talk about beer styles. Might as well start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not that Pilsner was the beginning of beer, because beer that we know it as far as beer goes is not the beer that we drink nowadays, because there was
absolutely
no quality control practices, refrigeration, all that shit didn't exist. But when you talk about beer in the modern age, you think of Core 4, you think of Reinheitsgebot, you think of all the things that kind of exist in the kind of vacuum of real beer. And Pilsner is kind of where it started off. So I figured I'd start off with a Wallenpaupack, or as you would say it, Wallenpaupack.
Wallenpaupack.
Brewing. This is their German style Pilsner. I wouldn't call this a German style Pilsner. I'd call it an American take on a Pilsner that just happens to have the word German slept on it. But it's tasty and fun and a starting point. How about you?
So because it's funny because Adam just said he says drinking a hazy IPA. I'm not actually drinking a hazy IPA. It is slightly hazy, and it looks like that on camera because my lighting sucks. This is just a very basic Citra Pale Ale. So one of the other, more common styles of beers after the Pilsner is the Pale Ale. In all of its many variations, the American Pale Ale, the Blonde Ale, the Blonde, as we know from Belgium, there's so many kind of variations. You could almost say that Kolsch, because it's a higher fermented beer, is a version of a Pale Ale. This is like one of those classic things, but with Citra hops, kind of new world. I figured I'd crack that, and it's a local brewery. I'm going to crack open another beer from them later on in the live stream. It's a local brewery for me. It's called the Kon Minder. Could be worse. Literally, this is translated as, could be worse. So yeah, it's I like it. And I drink it often.
And honestly, and this is probably the best. So I kind of don't want to say this because this kind of ruins this whole podcast or video. Is that the kind of core and compartmentalize what we're about to talk about for the next whatever minutes, hours, is if you like it, fucking drink it. Honestly, you know what I mean? So you're like, I like it, I drink it. So it's literally, it boils down to if you like it, who gives a fuck? But we're going to
basically for everybody who feels like I want to watch this live stream, but I don't care about these weirdos talking about it for God knows how long. Yeah, basically that was the gist of it. So now you can fuck off.
And now you can leave. There you go. So that's 7 minutes and 49 seconds. There you go.
Yeah, so everybody have a great
See you next time.
No, but there we go. I quickly plugged in my laptop because I've had this happen a few times in the last few live streams where my laptop dies on me. Don't want that happening. So, that's very loquacious of you, Matt. I like it.
I'm a wordsmith.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so let's start at where this ball got rolling for me. How do you feel about some of these modern interpretations of the more classic beer styles? If you look at what started with the export stout, the foreign stout, and that became the imperial stout, which is now almost always laced with adjuncts and fuck knows what. What's your take on that?
So one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say how many times I've rewatched this show, is the show Lost. Okay. I love the show Lost. And the reason why I'm embarrassed to talk about it is that I've watched that show a lot. I've rewatched that show more than digits I have in my fingers. And you're talking about a show that's 6 seasons long, and it's 45 minutes an episode, and there's 20 plus episodes a season. So that's a lot of time to invest. Yeah. So the whole premise of the show is fluid throughout the whole thing. There's a little bit, this is going on. Okay, that is going on. Okay, this is going on. And then it gets to the point where they start to want to wrap the show up. They start to be like, okay, we want to have a story arc here. We know we have a story arc, but where do we want to take it? Not necessarily they didn't have a beginning, middle, and end to their thought process when it comes to the show. But when you evolve and you have such a you're talking about the show, whether you like it or not. It's crazy because there's like 26 main characters. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's usually 2 or 3 main characters, and then there's ancillary. No, there's like 26 main characters. So you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So when it gets towards the end, getting towards the end to where they want to kind of cap the show off, they had a choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to please 2 people. They either had to please the people that like the sci-fi part of things, or they had to please the people that liked the story arc side of things, the story that was being told. So it's what's the magic behind the island, or what happens to the people that are on the magical island. There was 2 story arcs, and they chose to go with the people as opposed to the mythology and the magic. So it pissed a lot of people off. And that's beer, honestly, because what it is if you look at modern beer, more specifically like fruit smoothie beer, you talk about adjunct laden imperial stout. You talk about all those beers, all of those tastes and flavors actually were the best parts of what a core 4 beer or a core 4 beer plus barrel gave you. So when you dove into a really well done bourbon barrel aged, sure, there's a barrel involved, but bourbon barrel aged core 4 stout, what do you get? Chocolate, vanilla, coconut, all these kind of adjuncty flavors to the point where someone said, well, we like these flavors so much, why don't we just start pushing all these to the maximum amount of flavor into these beers? So instead of being like, let's do the difficult path, which is barrel age for 3 years, brew a really great beer, have it come out well, and impart this beautiful level of coconut, this beautiful level of vanilla and all that stuff, be like, let's just throw it in a fucking beer. And then people will be like, okay, I'm getting more of that. And that's kind of where everything splintered, because, and it's honestly, not to, again, spoiler alert, the whole fucking podcast, I like when I get a pastry stout from a core 4 beer. Like, I like when someone takes the grains and the malt and the water and the yeast and can produce those flavors. Like, we have a couple of breweries by me that make one brewery by me makes it's called BDG. It's a porter, but it's like what they're making like what's it called, trail mix. It's like when you eat trail mix, and all that kind of stuff. And they do use no adjuncts, and they try to use the right malts and the yeast and hops to impart the flavoring of what you would typically taste when you drink a trail mix. And I like that rather than someone actually throwing fucking trail mix into a fucking beer, because I find that to be more difficult, and I find it to be more rewarding. There's a flavor. There's a different flavor profile. Like the coconut you get from a barrel is infinitely different than coconut extract that you get in an adjunct beer. So there's that payoff and that trade-off that you get. But I like the new stuff too. I'm not going to complain about it. I love pastry stout. I love hazies. I can get down with them in moderation. It just seems like they're the more often than they're the rule, not the exception. What about you?
Well, for me, first of all, I'd like to say hi, Keith. Also, Keith, are you, or you can add yourself to the stream. You don't have to wait for one of us to do it.
That's if I log in. I haven't done that yet, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, hello, Keith. I hope you had a great day.
Hi.
For me, I think it's going back to that part of, so you're drinking a Pilsner right now, and that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up. A Pilsner is actually a very, relatively speaking, new beer style when you take into the grand scheme of how long beer has been made. It's like, what, 150 years old, the Pilsner as we know it right now? That clear, light-colored, pale beer. Before that, basically all beers, even if they were lagers, they had a darker color. They were almost always smoky. That should get Keith's attention. And they were... Sorry. Oh, that's you. I just saw myself pop up in the...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I just noticed. So the point being there, even then, back then, in, what was it? I think it was 1840 when in Pils in Czech, that's where the first, the Pils as we know it right now, where the clear beer was being made. That's the first clear Pilsner was ever brewed. how do you think people would respond to that? Like they were accustomed to these darker, slightly smoky ales, a little bit less clean because the brewing techniques weren't all that refined yet. People weren't even all that aware of what the yeast was doing, what bacteria were doing in the beer. And suddenly here was this clean cut, always stable product. And that was a completely different thing than what everybody was drinking at the time. People were probably freaking out. And right now we're all thinking, oh yeah, people loved it and people were immediately in love with it. There's probably a good chance that a lot of beer drinkers were basically the Instagrammers of their day who were thinking, this is not what I'm going to drink. This is not the beer that I love. This isn't beer. This is just some newfangled kind of stupid concoction grown in a lab, and people were fucking around with whatever. This isn't actually really beer. Jump to like 170 years later, and there we go. There's a bunch of people on YouTube freaking out about how amazing old school lagers are,
Well, it's weird because it's like even today, like most people don't even think that way. Like if you watch Game of Thrones and I'm like, give me a tankard of ale, and they drink that, they're drinking like vinegar water. Like they're not drinking Pilsner or wheat beers. You know what I mean? They're drinking sour, fucked up weirdness that just happened to get them drunk, so they dug it. So beer has a long history of just not being clean and crisp, and honestly, if you look at beer through a microcosm, it's like, or a broader spectrum. I mean, it's like we're the conversation we're having right now is about the soul and the purity of beer, but really, we choose to view lager and Pilsner as the OG, but it's not, man. It's like mead and like all those other products are really what the OG was. So it's almost like, the best analogy I can actually come up with is I saw a meme kind of floating around I've seen it before, but it's popped over the last couple of weeks, where it's like there was a picture of a millennial trying to build something saying, most millennials don't know how to fix their own house nowadays. You know what I mean? What's wrong with the world? And then someone comments underneath it and be like, most baby boomers can't cast their own iron forged fucking swords. What's wrong with the world? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, exactly. Like every time you go like, oh, these people don't know what they're talking about, be like, well, you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about versus the period beforehand. So like, when do we call it real? Yeah,
exactly. So this is a good comment, and after I'm gonna comment on this comment, I'm gonna do my little rant because I like to rant, and then I really would like to give Keith the opportunity to also say something. But that's why no one drinks ancient grain beers anymore. So I actually once, I think it was like a year or two ago, I reviewed it on my channel. I fucking loved it. It was a raw beer. Have you guys ever had a raw beer?
It's a what beer?
Raw, as in R-A-W, raw.
Raw.
As in, it's never been boiled. And that was one of the most, it was nearly an experience. That was getting as close as you almost could to what, they used to do before all these techniques were refined. And I love that beer, but there's no market for it, so almost no one does it. But it came very close to being those old school beers before like the 1700s. Like Matt said, it wasn't that vinegary or anything, but it did have that sort of much more grainy, much more, well, like I said, raw quality to it.
We actually have a couple breweries over here that do like no boil IPAs. Super soft from Sloop is a no boil IPA. Like there's like yeah, and they do it, and that's the thing. And honestly, and this is where the conversation actually lies, and this is where the kind of conversation should be had. Is that the newest thing doesn't mean it's the best thing.
No,
but just because it's old doesn't make it good either.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you can't be like, oh well, they used to what? I worked in the tattoo industry for fucking 18 years. I knew a bunch of old motherfuckers who were tattooing for 30 years that sucked ass at what they did. Just because they did it for a long time doesn't mean they're good. And conversely, just because the new people do it just doesn't make them good either.
Exactly, and that's the point. So, and that's why I wanted to go back to, hey, Craig, how you doing, buddy? Great you could join us. Always, man. I thought this was a discussion that you would love. I mean, especially since lately you've been really into your, more older styles of beers, and you've been doing a lot of reviews of some lagers, but your export styles, and you've been doing some pretty good stuff when it comes to the older styles, your milds, your bitters, and so I figured you would love to chime in on this discussion. But I would really quickly like to jump to Keith because he's drinking a breaded IPA.
Yeah.
Was that Muckraker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made his first double IPA, and he does a lot of like traditional method blends beers and all that kind of stuff. And get out of here. He brewed like an actual double IPA, no funny stuff, no weird yeast or anything like that. And then he took some of it, and then he pitched Brett, and this one he dry hopped it with this new hop called Sativa.
Oh, I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but that's why I kind of like the fact that you're drinking that beer, because this is also one of those discussions where people are like, oh, you have all these milkshake IPAs, and you have wit IPAs, white IPAs, wheat IPAs, and all these things, and you get all the black IPAs, the Cascadian IPAs, whatever you want to call it, and people are like, where are my traditional, where are my real IPAs, the old West Coast, and like that is as far removed from what an IPA used to be. And when you think about what you're drinking there, it's Brett infused. The traditional IPAs, they were all dumped into these wooden barrels to be shipped off. They were probably breaded to high hell, or at least there was funk and wild fermentation going on.
Well, you have to understand too that like at that you could debate the origin of IPA and the whole shit.
Of course you could. That's one of the...
But the brass tacks was the emphasis on beer in that day and time wasn't on hyper freshness and quality. It was stability and the fact that you wouldn't get sick drinking it. Like it wasn't like,
right,
oh, this is the best. Like if it tasted good, that was a bonus. You're like, yeah, holy shit, this actually it's getting me fucked up. And it kind of tastes all right. Like it wasn't like, oh, let's try to find the best tasting beer. It's like, let's try to find a beer that doesn't make us have the shits.
I had a joke with a friend the other day where I said something along the lines like, with lockdown and everything, and weekends being a little bit boring in your house, and I do more reviews than I used to because you can't go anywhere. And I made the joke about, at least I'm getting enough, I'm drinking more alcohol. And she said, at least you're getting enough fluids. And here's the kicker. That's basically, for a long time, what beer was. Being able to get fluids into you without fucking dying. that was what beer was all about.
Potable water,
and getting a little bit of protein and, some carbohydrates in you. And that was awesome. So, yeah. Craig, what are you drinking, buddy? I kind of think I know what you're drinking, but...
Yeah, I just opened a Helles unfiltered lager.
I knew it.
Lost and Grounded.
Got two Helles going right now. Keith's drinking that fucking... That Brett swill.
Yeah. It's actually...
It's very nice. It's
part of my last one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my last one. Yeah.
Oh, no. Get more. And then get wrecked.
Well, it's supposed to be in I think it's in the supermarkets now, but it's not made it down this way. But I'd get it. I'd get it at a slightly higher price in the supermarket because it's worth it. It's good.
Well, Matt and I have been doing a lot of talking so far, so I would like to hear, the thoughts of the both of you on the subject, the topic at hand.
Keith? As far as this beer goes, I've had both. I've had the the double IPA. I guess I think after he split it, he dry hopped the base with something else, and then dry hopped the Brett version with this. but I've had both, and like I'm not a huge IPA fan, but like that little bit, that Brett in there just softens it just enough for me to like love this. That's
I like that because basically, what I love about Brett and a lot of beers, a lot of these IPAs are usually kind of, sweet, and with Brett just eating all those sugars away, you get a little bit more of a drier, a little bit more stringent thing going on. Sorry, Craig, I'm still looking at you, and I'm still not used to the hair.
Short.
It really is fucking short. It suits you though. It suits you.
It's back to what it should be. It's just locked down for like 5 months, and then when everything opened, I was like, I can't be asked. There's going to be too many people and stuff, so I gave it another month. So there was no difference really. Still a mess, whether you leave it an extra month or not. So yeah, but yeah. So I'm drinking a Hellas lager. It's styles that I've been really getting into the last. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is not an old brewery or anything. Lost and Grounded. They're not been going a hell of a long time. There's a lot of breweries doing these sorts of things now. So and it's unfiltered as well, which is it's always. So I do like a well-made Hellas.
Agreed.
And this is a good one, I have to say. Is that the unfiltered version you got there as well?
Yes,
Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the unfiltered version. It's a bit older because they did that. I know they just did another run of it recently, but this is actually the late 2020 run. It's still really delicious. So. Yeah.
I've been looking at getting that, doing like a side by side with the OG one.
Yeah.
Love to do that as well.
Still
think it's amazing that they're getting Schlenkerla in cans and we're still doing the bottle things.
Well, the Schlenkler in cans that we get over here, the Schlenkler in cans we get over here are actually coming in a very interesting format. Like they actually a company called Be United, which is an importer of beer, actually gets tankers. Schlenkler shipped here, and they can them themselves.
I heard of that.
They don't like it. Yeah, it doesn't. They don't come here canned. So.
Yeah. No, I heard about that. I think that Schneiderweiser and Weichstefana, they do a lot of those things as well, where they just ship over the big tankers, and can and bottle over there. This is why you get a lot of the 12-ounce bottles of Weichstefana, and we don't. Yeah. We basically only get like 50 centiliters. Matt, Keith, this is a question that's probably interesting for you guys because here in Europe we don't really get a lot of single cut. But John is asking, enjoying a single cut, softly spoken magic spells. I have had that one, by the way. I liked it. Been a while since I enjoyed a single cut beer. Do you guys think the beers have vastly changed over the past few years?
I've had like 2 single cut beers in my life.
So. Okay, Matt.
They've turned up.
The answer to that question is. Go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. Just a quick one. It's just more of a single cut of recently turned up in the UK again. They're sporadic, but they do get here. It's like at the moment we've got a shed load of like Equilibrium, Grim, stuff like that turning up in cans.
Let me check that.
Is it Green Hill from Barrier? That's just turned up. Load of Barrier beers coming in. And then other things like Belch and Beaver have just turned up, in the last sort of couple of months or so. And what's the other brewery? Can't think. Alpine,
it's funny how that works, by the way.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, the distribution sometimes, because it's interesting that a while ago I asked this question in the American chat group. You guys get. I asked about a droid theory.
Yeah.
And I think, though, a lot of you guys were like, never had a beer with them, don't know them, don't really know them that well. We get a droid theory here in the Netherlands quite often. Like, every month there's a big drop. Which is pretty fucking funny that there's this big American brewery that gets a big drop in Europe, but you guys in America seem to not be able to get it very easily.
Yeah, Peter and I talked about this in a podcast we just recorded and today, and like how you guys get like Fremont and Three Sons and Jester King and all this kind of crazy stuff that we don't get at all here on the East Coast. But to actually circle back on your on John's comment about single cut before we get away from that, is that they have changed crazy over the years. I'm not going to say in an overtly negative way. I actually really do like single cuts hazies. Their 18 watt is a really great low ABV beer. I gave Keith one not too long ago, and he really enjoyed it too. For a low ABV kind of hazy pale, it's really delicious. The big difference I've noticed, and this is not just single cut, but it's across the board for a lot of breweries that used to do this, is they used to be this like awesome like garlic, scallion, onion, ranky dank, fucking filthy beer producer. Like their hazies had this big fruit component, but it also had this just really nasty, mean mugging fucking onion thing, and it's just not there anymore. But I think that's I love that, but not a lot of people love that presence in hops, and that's more hop producers literally weeding out that presence from their hops. They're actually like growing them to not produce that in their hops anymore. So we're used to get that from like Galaxy or Citra or whatever. You're just not getting it anymore because the hops don't produce that kind of flavor. So I don't think it's single cut. I think it's more the people making the hops that are making that happen.
That's actually an interesting point that I'd like to get back to in a little bit. But very first, I just want to say, Paul, buddy, I really hope she's doing okay. Which he responded at here. She's at the hospital with her mom, doing okay now. She need a cast for sure. I hope everything is going to be okay. I mean, it sucks.
Sorry to hear that.
It sucks, man. Yeah, that's painful. I mean, I know in the end, it's always easy to say it's a broken arm and it'll heal and it'll be fine. Yeah. But to see your little one being in pain and agony, I'm sorry, man, to hear that. That's it's not cool, mate. So,
but it's also a rite of passage. Knowing a little bit of discomfort is never a negative thing. Not try to put a little spin on it in a positive sense. But
there you go.
Yeah, dude, my kid's 2 months old. When he cries, that extra level, like babies cry, but unless you have a baby, it's like Craig will know. Like your baby cries, but then there's an extra level it goes to every now and then. You're just like heart breaks. You know what I mean? So
well, at least everything will be okay. And you can have us as a little bit of a distraction. Before I go to the hop discussion, because that's related kind of to the discussion we're trying to have about the, evolution in beer. This is funny because I'm drinking two completely different beers from the same brewery. So this is a passion fruit infused milkshake IPA, double IPA actually, I think, because it's 8.2% ABV. Now, I'm not saying this is nasty. I'm saying this is actually kind of tasty, but it is so incredibly sweet. It is so incredibly just basically...
That can get in the sea.
Like, it's almost... I'd almost... If this was a mystery beer, I wouldn't be surprised if I classified this as a fruited sour, like a kettle sour. It has a bit of a sourness to it. It's not a bad drink, but then I still have this in the glass, their standard 5 point something. What is it? I don't know. 5.5% ABV Citra Pale Ale. And I smell this and I drink this and I'm like, that's a beer.
Yeah.
That's a beer. And then I drink this and I'm thinking, it's not nasty. It's not bad. I'm okay with drinking it. But I struggle finding the beer component in it.
You want it to come in 8-ounce cans.
I wanted to sort of just have a
two ounce cans.
I don't want it to exist. So
yeah, I'm kind of okay with having this as like a small sampler at the brewery, and like, can I have a small sampler? And no, I don't need a glass full of it. I'm okay. Thank you very much. That was interesting.
Is it that sweet?
I'm already booking a dentist appointment for tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. It's passion fruit. It's passion fruit with lactose.
Oh,
And
God.
as a double IPA, you can already imagine the double IPA. And I don't even want to know the amount of residual sugars in here.
Did you buy that yourself, or did it come in a box? You didn't know what was in it.
I bought it deliberately for two reasons. I was curious because I was hearing some interesting things about it and people liking it. And it's a local brewery, so I want to support a local brewery.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
what brewery is it?
it's called Buck's Beer. It's that's their logo.
Oh.
So yeah, they're like I think like 25 minutes away from me. They're a local brewery, and I really dig these guys, and they're doing some awesome stuff. But not always, apparently. Not always. So, but yeah, going back to the hop thing that Matt was talking about evolution of beer. There's the supply and demand thing, where breweries are making certain beers because they are aware that people like the sugary, lactosey, sweet stuff. Sweet is always a very easy, accessible flavor. People like it, people want to drink it, and people enjoy it because sweet is easy. Sweet is simple. To make beer, you need hops. And I get the impression that with anything that is being overproduced, quality goes down. So when you need certain hops, you need to grow them. People cultivate them more. In all the places in the world where maybe the soil isn't always as great to produce the kind of hop that you actually want. So it has the flavoring and the smells that you want. So I'm kind of wondering, is the demand of high quality craft beer having an influence on the production, the growth of, and the demand on hops, and diminishing their flavor profile? Because Matt mentioned this in a review not that long ago, or in a live stream, where he says Simcoe isn't what Simcoe used to be.
No.
So I'm kind of wondering what you guys think about that.
I mentioned that in a review the other day, funnily enough, about Simcoe. Just doesn't, unless, I mean, oh, she chase buds change. Nah.
Could be, but
There could be a bit of that, but I don't know. I don't know. It's like West Coast IPA in the UK. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Hops are weed. You know, hops are weed as far as like how they're grown and cultivated. They're like genetically like just very small, shortly off of chromosomally the same plant. So when you're talking about like, you know, hops, you know, they've gone the way of weed. You know, it used to be hops were grown. Now they're being like kind of crossbred and changed and genetically modified in order to be what most people want. That's the thing too. You're talking about you're talking about a flavor profiles that morph and change over multiple different people. So it's not like a baseline for taste. It's not a baseline for hops. It's not a baseline for this. So more people want like a less garlicky oniony hop, then that's what it's going to skew to. But you also talk about, you know, you get a batch of Citra. If it was picked on the Tuesday as opposed to the Wednesday as opposed to the Thursday, it's going to be completely different then too. That's why these brewers go out and select their batches of specific hops. It's not like I order Citra and I get Citra. No, you could order Citra the same way you order a piece of shit hamburger from the horrible diner as opposed to the really good hamburger from the place down the street. It's not the same. And then you throw the other screwball, the fucking curveball in that some hops are proprietary, some hops are copyrighted, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, no, you know, Citra is copyrighted, but then you have old school hops, which is like anybody can grow them. And it's like, so if anybody's growing them, then you can get any kind of variety of hops. So it's like, there's so many moving parts, there's so many things. So it's not as cut and dry as like, I want Galaxy, I get Galaxy. No.
I get it. But
18 billion different kinds of Galaxy.
There is because I do remember the Craig will know this channel. I think the craft beer channel, CBC. I don't know if you guys know him. Yeah. So they did this amazing little spotlight a year or two ago on a lot of New England breweries, including Alchemist. So they went to Alchemist and they had this, long talk, and they had this great video. And what's his face from Alchemist? I keep forgetting his name.
John Knick.
Yeah. So at one point he was talking about how Simcoe. he made it very clear. Heady topper, vocal banger. They're not always the same. Because he made it clear, even though we want the same hop profile and we go for the same hops change in every season. Weather, climate, what is the soil doing? What's the alkaline levels in the soil? What does that do with the hop? How does that affect the flavor profile? And even over cultivation. If you grow something too much, if you over plant the soil, if you put too many hops in there, too many plants to grow, it'll affect the quality of the hops. Everything is going to get affected. Simcoe isn't always the same. Galaxy isn't always the same. Even if you get it from the same place, everything will change a little bit because of so many little, quirky little things going on, like what Matt said. Then you even start talking about where are you getting your hops from. So if a brewery is always getting their hops from the same, place, you could get a consistent quality. But if you're basically saying, I'm just going to get Galaxy, just name one, wherever I want, ordering it online, I have no idea where it's coming from. Is your Galaxy coming from California? Is your Galaxy coming from fucking, I don't know, Mexico? Is it coming from Germany? Is it coming from freaking New Zealand? From wherever? That'll affect the end product.
Well, that's true, but like most of the bigger breweries don't really do that. They go and select their hops, and they order specific hops. So it's not like Treehouse goes online and just finds the person selling Citra and buy Citra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do they?
No, they don't. They actually go and they because once you get to a certain scale, you're contracting your hops. You're not buying hops. You're saying, I want this many hops for the season. You're going to provide, I'm going to select which ones I want, and you're going to provide me with that level of hops. It's not a matter of like, oh, I brewed this week, let's find some more hops. I brewed this week, let's find some more hops.
Exactly.
More often than not, you'll have a brewery that will overbuy hops so they have all the hops they want, and then secondary market those hops. Not secondary market for profit, but be like, hey, I know small breweries that have bought hops, several different small breweries that have purchase hops from Treehouse specifically, because Treehouse is like, we want all of these, we'll take them, and then once they start to get to the point where they understand how much they need, to go, okay, we have 400 tons of these fucking hops or whatever that we're not going to use. Who wants to buy some here, there, and everywhere? Boston Beer Company does it. Samuel Adams, a bunch of beer companies do it. So the bigger ones are more consistent because they can choose what they want to do. Now, that being said, the Alchemist thing, Heady used to look like, this is exactly what Heady Topper looked like. This isn't Heady, but that's exactly what Heady Topper looked like when it came out. Let me drink this. And I'll show you what Heady Topper looks like now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same beer. And John, I love the dude. He can tell you all he wants to say that, ingredients change. That is what Heady Topper looks like now.
I get it totally. Good point.
And he's made that change. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that change. But the subterfuge to be like, ingredients change, so my beer turned from what I originally showed you to that is not the case. Like he morphed Heady to become a little bit more juicy and hazy and more New England like. Because it was not that when it first came out. It has nothing to do with ingredient selection.
I think it's a bit twofold. I remember when I was very big into the single malt thing. There was this one distillery that started to explain, we have this. There's this story this was a very honest distillery. You have that bullshit story about in Scotland we have the local grains and everything, blah blah blah, where we make our barley with and blah 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 blah. Basically, most of the big distilleries in Scotland, they just order in the bulk of their barley, and most of it isn't even from Scotland anymore. It's from these big, former Eastern Bloc European countries where they have big fields of all of the same kind of wheat and barley and whatever, which they need for their Scotch. And I think this kind of thing is happening in the beer world as well, where people are saying like, we have these locally sourced, whatever we want hops, but basically they're just coming from where the fuck ever, and they don't even know where they're coming from. They're just saying, yeah, it's Citra, but where's the Citra coming from? We don't know right now. We just ordered in Citra in bulk because we need a lot of Citra, and we have no idea where it's coming from. We have no idea how the microclimate in that particular region affected the hops, the soil, and whatever, and we just have Citra. And it's going to be the same beer that you always had, but it isn't because we don't know where the hops are coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, but I don't, man. Like, because honestly, like, I don't know a brewer that blanket orders like pounds and pounds and pounds and tons of hops on spec. Like, just be like, I want Citra, send it to me. Like, even if they're not going to like Yakima Valley or they're not going in New Zealand, they're at least going to be like, hey, I'm interested in like, you know, so many pounds of Citra. Send me 9 different varietals of Citra that you have. Take 200 pounds of each one and put it aside. I'll shove my nose in it when I get the small samples, and I will pick from there, and then get like be like, okay, this Citra's like this Citra's like that. I'll take this one. I don't want the other ones. Like, I don't know a decently sized brewery that just like goes like on Amazon. It's like 9,000 pounds of Citra ordered. You know what I mean? It's not really how it works.
I don't know. I think that happens a lot more than we think. Sorry, Keith. Yeah, you were saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, the only time like stuff like that happens is, I don't know if like big breweries do it, but like I know like small and like local breweries will do it. They will collab with like a local farm that has hops, and then they just brew a beer based on whatever hops they have. Or there was something else I was going to say, but now I forget what it is.
But even in that sense, Keith, like, you're talking about like a lot of like breweries, like
they breweries that grow their own hops.
But they can't.
Oh, with
like
Citra,
you can't grow. No, it's not just Citra. There's a ton of hops. You just can't be I grew thousands of pounds of Citra and be like, you're going to jail. It's like saying I open a McDonald's without permission. You know what I mean? You can't do that shit.
Can you?
Well, you can, but you just go to jail. Yeah.
No. This is a good point, though. Constant change of beer due to cultivation and climate is one of the best things about it. As beer reviewers, we do need that. Oh, and by the way, BC Reviews, hello? And hashtag MadFacts with 2 T's. Oh, dear God, how dare you?
I don't know.
I didn't see that.
I assume his facts are fantastic.
Would you like me to? Would you like me to? Yeah. I saw that earlier.
He sounds smart.
Would you like me to ban him from the chat? Is that something you'd like now?
Not Paul, but whoever this double T man is. I mean,
okay. That dude needs to get the fuck in. Hey, dude. So, in the meantime, by the way, I would just like very much to point out, if I am going to get very hyper and slightly aggressive, this is giving me a sugar rush. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Giving me a fucking sugar rush. So.
Yeah. It's weird. So only recently some beers I'm like, you know what? I avoid them. Milkshake IPAs is one. Just not a beer to me. It's just too much.
It is
lactose and stuff. I like bitterness in the beer, and it gets back to the hop side, say, to a degree. Are they tweaking the hops to become less bitter, especially for like West Coast IPA?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the West Coast IPAs we get in the UK, I'm pretty sure they're not like they were like 4, 5, maybe 6 years ago. So it'd be interesting to see if that's the same in the West Coast of the States or in the States in general, or what. Don't know.
Well, that's actually a good talking point for what entire sort of
the golden arcs.
Oh yeah, especially that. This is, by the way, more difficult than you'd think. So here, by the way, just completely off topic, kind of local to me, a McDonald's burned down a few months ago, and McDonald's are usually franchisers. A lot of them are. Apparently, even though it was at that location, the franchisor right now wants to rebuild, but he's having a lot of difficulty to rebuild at the same location because of what the local, what's it called, the not the government, the council, the local city council is like zoning permission and everything. We don't want a McDonald's there, but there used to be a McDonald's there. Yeah, but we don't want them there. It's very fucking weird.
Now that it's not there, we don't want it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like very fucking weird. So like,
sounds
yeah,
like,
you
sounds like the council burnt it down.
See, in the United States, we have laws like that, like, but they're like there's a thing called grandfather, which is like a lot of businesses are like, you can't do these things, but this business already exists, so they're grandfathered in, so they can exist because they were there before the laws are passed, and then they'll have screw your Frida hops, but they have these laws where you can't rebuild, but then what they'll do is they'll take, like, the way the law is written, they'll take they'll totally destroy the whole lot, but leave like a square quarter-inch of the foundation to where they're technically not building a new building. They're expanding upon the building that already exists, even though there's just like an inch-by-inch piece of cement from the old building in there. Be like, well, we're not building a new thing. We're just expanding on the thing that is already there. That's how the United States rolls, baby.
Ta-da! You gotta love bureaucracy. There's one quote. I like to use quotes to explain my thoughts. There's one quote from all the Star Trek movies and Star Trek shows, whatever. There's one quote that I still love. Human bureaucracy is the only constant in the galaxy. And I still love that one.
That and my child farting.
That. No, but getting back to beers, and we just talked about the lactose thing. So here's the thing I'd like to talk about. What do you think about? Do you think lactose is the ingredient to stay when you see the ever-growing demand for the milkshake IPAs, the pastry styles? I know. I hope, but I'm not talking about what we hope.
I thought
what we think.
I thought beer was core 5 now.
Is it? Yeah, that's a good point.
I thought they what's the word?
Lactose?
Yeah. No, there's a specific word I'm thinking of. I thought they not indoctrinated, but whatever.
I kind of like that word, actually. That's a good word. I like it. Let's go with it.
Well, maybe indoctrinated based on like the trends and stuff, but yeah, I thought beers were core 5 now. Lactose being the 5th.
Back in a minute.
Kind of, yeah. I think there's a lot more beers out there that have lactose that don't have it on the label.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, the conversation we had, I think it actually happened before Keith and Craig jumped in, which is like the flavors that we get from like core beers that we want to amplify. So, lactose basically comes from oats, heavy oat additions impart a lactose component. So, everybody wants a little bit more lactose in their life. So you start adding lactose and stuff like that, but to go a step further, because it's its own kind of monster. I liken lactose a lot to truffle or truffle oil, in that, like, used sparingly and to help promote and create, because you talk to a chef, they'd be like, truffle oil is the worst thing in the history of mankind. But if you actually take truffle oil and you use it in such a light kind of meaningful purpose, or even a little bit more aggressive, but it's not the dominant factor in a meal, it's actually quite a great ingredient. And that's kind of like lactose. Like, if you give me a really lactose forward milkshake IPA that's made really well, I really enjoy it, but I don't really enjoy it because of the amount of lactose. I really enjoy it because of the balance it brings with that heavy dose of lactose. So it's not so much a beer has lactose, it's good. A beer has lactose, it's bad. It's like, how's it being utilized? How is it being
exactly
in the beer? You know what I mean? To help, because I love milk stouts. I love old school milk porters. I love, like, add lactose to beer is great. Adds mouthfeel, adds it cool. Like, listen, let's put it this way to Bogart all the time. If you have a really, really, really good hazy IPA and it's sweet, but not overly sweet. There's lactose in it, even if they didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a really good hazy and you're like, oh, this is really good. It's soft. It's creamy. It's super punchy with its hops and everything's great. There's fucking lactose in there. They're just using the lactose. They're basically brewing a bone dry, fully attenuated hazy IPA and adding a soft lactose component to add a sweetness to it. That's not sharp as like, non-lactose beers that are sweet are like candy sweet. Like you're sucking on a hard candy sweet. Whereas like lactose sweet hazy IPAs are like soft and fluffy kind of confectionery kind of sweet. And that's what you're tasting. So I think a lot of people are drinking lactose IPAs and they don't even know it.
Exactly. And so I love the fact that here, let's go to a few comments. Ross Stewart said, I mean, milk stouts have been around for a long time, but I don't like lactose added and not disclosing it. That's a big thing. I like that. This is about my local bottle shop had to go before known to the council to explain that he wanted a bottle shop. Oh, yeah. City councils, man, that stuff is fucking weird. That stuff is fucking weird. Tim at Conclave, I just noticed this because Conclave Brewing.
This is the guy who made that beer right now.
I figured as much. I start watching you start talking about lactose. And I like the fact that Ashley Sexton is now commenting, because if I'm not mistaken, Ashley is actually a beer trooper from Canada, eh?
Canada. Yeah. Ashley Canada is one of my favorite people in BeerTube. Super good.
Yeah,
beer.
I've seen. I know he's from that the Beer Analysis 101. I saw a few of their reviews. Hello, Ashley. How you doing? This is something that I want to get back to, because sometimes lactose is being used in great ways. So 3 of the IPAs that I've had lately that I actually very much enjoyed, double IPAs, were lactose IPAs without the overuse of lactose. And one of them was, I think Ashley will know, Collective Arts. Collective Arts sent me over some beers, and they're number 15. Which apparently is a very, very well-known, very well-respected beer in Canada. That is one of those clear examples where lactose is added as a small extra ingredient to, like you just said, Matt, like build up that mouthfeel a little bit. Give it that little bit of extra sweetness. Give it a little bit of more fluffy, creamy note, and that's it. And it isn't a lactose beer. It's just a small little... added extra.
But here's the thing about that, and it's not so much, and I agree with what Ashley's saying, but you have to view it through a different prism, because if someone puts a ton of lactose in a beer, they say it's terribly overused. It's way too much. But if someone puts too much, if a beer's too thin, we say it's too thin, not overly watery. If someone does a malt forward IPA, we don't go it's terribly overused malt. We go it's malty. If someone puts a ton of hops in there, you get hop burn. You go terribly overused hops. They go it has hop burn. Like there's a weird kind of conversation where it's like,
I agree, those
ingredients are a little bit like too aggressive in any sense, but when it comes to lactose, it's like way too much lactose. It's the same conversation, but the vernacular and how you express them are different. So it's like you can have an overly malty IPA, you can have an overly hopped IPA, like hop burn, hop creep, all those kind of things. We don't say terribly overused hops. No one has ever said those things in the history of beer, except some BJCP fucking crazy homebrew guy. So it's one of those things where it's like the perception and the vernacular in which you're talking about these things or whatever. In the core of it is the opposite. You're talking about balanced beer. Even when you use lactose in beer, you're talking about adding something that builds and props up a beer as opposed to dominates. And I think that's the core conversation or the core meaning of what everybody's talking about.
It is. Just quickly going through some of the comments. I think it's here to stay curmudgeonly. We wanted to not be curmudgeoned. Here, is curmudgeon a word? I don't know. Is it? Okay.
Curmudgeonly?
Curmudgeonly is, but it's curmudgeon.
Ross knows because Ross watches my channel, and I'm a curmudgeon, and I say curmudgeonly all the time.
Yeah, I know you do, but that's why I was wondering: is curmudgeon a word. Not curmudgeonly, but curmudgeon.
We can make it one if you want to.
It is one now, yeah.
All right.
There's bureaucracy in action. Oh, about that. Yeah, that is fucking bureaucracy. Yeah, I know because you guys. I saw the live stream you guys did with where a few of you guys had the can art where the one was sort of like chalked on, kind of. I don't know, or like with a magic marker or whatever. And of course, actually, no problem. Hell, there you go. But yeah, like, where was it? Ross Stewart said, I think it's here to stay curmudgeonly. And that's basically where we kind of want to go. It's the evolution of beer again. There used to be ingredients in beers that we don't use anymore. Like Groot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, non-hop.
Before hops. You know what, not Groot like from Marvel, but you know what I mean.
Dandelion beers is pretty much every brewery makes a Groot.
That, yeah, like Groot beer. Like, so that changed and it became hop. And people were like, what the fuck is with this hop? We don't want hop. That's old and hipster kind of thing. We don't want hops. We want Groot. And then hop became the thing. There's probably a good chance that lactose is one of those ingredients that is in the near future or slightly far future going to be one of the. Well, Keith made it as a joke, 5 core. There's a good chance we're going to have to accept that lactose is going to become one of the main ingredients. And that's evolution of beer, because that's the point of this entire sort of live stream. Beer has been developing, evolving over 6,000 or 7,000 years of drinking, where it was just basically grains with water, and they left it out there, and they could eat it as a sort of a porridge. That's basically where beer started.
I mean,
as a fermented porridge.
I just want bitterness to come back in beer. I want to be tasting the beer.
Yeah, right. That would be fun.
I would say that in this day and age, it would be a very terrible idea to make a not vegan ingredient a core ingredient in something.
It's probably not going to be like a core ingredient as in core as in there will always be vegan beers and you will have the option, but I think it's going to become a lot more common.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, I'd set up a brewery, old school brewery. That's what I would set up a brewery there in the future, where you got all these bitter beers and no vegan beers, just pure beers. You know, no non-alcoholic beers. That's another one as well going forward. Non-alcoholic beers are getting too big for my liking.
It will become a thing, but
yeah, because all these youngsters are drinking non-alcoholic beers. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I don't understand that. When I was that age, I always wanted to get fucking drunk. And suddenly all these 17 and 18-year-olds are all like, I want to be responsible. I don't want to get drunk. What the fuck is wrong with you? Is your life as an 18-year-old that great that you don't feel the need to be inebriated? Because I don't know, my life was shitty.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't see them at festivals, these youngsters. That's for sure.
No. You don't really do. It's beer.
You're not going to go to like somewhere like Glastonbury and have, I've got a crate of non-alcoholic beer. And they'll be like, fuck off. You know?
I've had a few, I will say, by the way, I've had a few very good non-alcoholic beers that were actually very tasty.
They are one or two all right. But
as Ashley is saying, I echo your sentiments. I feel the same way. I've had a few beers in the last few weeks that were so bitter that I almost got confused. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're drinking a beer. Yeah.
It was like, what the hell happened? What's going on? Why is my beer bitter? Oh, wait, it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But I think there's this changing. But you just said the thing about the young kids, and I kind of wonder: is beer the way as we know it? Is that a dying thing?
No, not even close. No way.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just throwing it out there as a discussion point. Is it a dying thing?
Hard
beers
seltzer.
As we know it.
Hard seltzer is the future.
Oh,
there you go.
They can get in the sea as well. They can do one. Fucking hell. And then there might be fair. Well, they're really popular in the States or just a little bit? I don't know.
Seltzers?
Very.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they're like that's. I mean, there's not a. It doesn't seem like a lot of beer drinkers drink seltzers, but the general public does.
Yeah.
It's 0 calories and it'll get you fucking hammered. I mean, it's pretty much
That's
American
the
to a
calories.
T.
Yeah, the calories thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Calorie counters. Yeah. Don't drink beer.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, it's
man,
good luck.
that's what is the malt liquor? What gets you drunk quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer. But yeah, no.
Cheers, Ashley. By the way, hi mate.
But yeah. So anyway, getting back to the point, the evolution of beer.
The
I had this
evolution
thought,
of beer is cyclical, man. Like
It is.
beer is, you know, almost. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but almost everybody that gets into beer drink like macro lager. I mean,
Exactly.
You don't know anything else, so you drink macro lager. You drink maybe a little bit fancier macro lager. Start flirting with wit beer. Start dipping into other things, start going into more porters, stouts, those kind of things, but also getting an IPA, and then basically end up backtracking to lager. And that's kind of what breweries do. You know, you have all these breweries kind of, you know, Other Half and Trillium and all these boutique-y fancy math breweries making, you know,
that was 20 years.
Lager. So they're just rotating back to what everybody started with.
Yeah, but yes and no, because I think that was like 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago when people were like, we were growing up. And this is how my craft beer journey started. I was like 15 back in the day. You know, nobody complained when you were 14 or 15 and you had a macro lager at home and nobody made a big deal out of it. So I had a beer or two with my dad, and those were just usually the macro lagers. And at some point he was like, you know, son, here's a craft beer. You know, and what would he give me? He would give me like, that would be a Leffe double or a Grimbergen triple, you know, those kind of beers. And 20 years ago, the quality of those beers were completely different than they are right now. Back then, those were actually high-class Belgian classics. The Leffes, the Grimbergens, the Duvel, you know.
That's about the time I started drinking Belgian beers.
Yeah.
That's when I first started coming off the lager to Belgian beers.
Exactly, and that's what happened. So that's what you started drinking, and then you drank those for a while. You still had your macro lagers, but you also went to the higher echelon of the macro lagers. You had like your supermarket stuff, but you also have like the better craft supermarket lagers that have more expensive shit. Wait, let me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to read. I can't pronounce that second word. Bloody hell.
Saison Traminer. Saison Traminer.
It's basically a saison with Gewürztraminer grapes.
Okay. That sounds good though.
It doesn't suck.
It does not suck.
It sounds weird, but yeah.
But the point what I'm trying to make is that what happens these days, so you got all these like 19, 20, 21 year olds, they're drinking their supermarket macro lagers, and they're Googling beer, they're looking up beer, and then suddenly they get, thanks to Googling, they hit something on craft beer, and then they start Googling a little bit more, and suddenly they go from supermarket lagers, they hear about double IPAs. They hear about these hazies. They hear about these sweet concoctions, and they start drinking that. And there's this old story going on the internet where this guy is at, there's many variations, but this guy's going to an airport. He has to go to, you know, get a flight and whatever. And he wants some beer. And he sees IPA on tap. And he's like, I'll have the IPA. And instead of what he's thinking, because this is a youngster and he's used to all of these new sweet lactose double IPAs with, I don't know, whatever, and passion fruit in it, he gets, name one of your favorite well-known, I don't know, Torpedo? Sierra Nevada Torpedo? He gets Torpedo, and he's like, what the fuck is this? This is an IPA. This is not an IPA. And the bartender's like, yeah, this is an IPA. And that's kind of the story, like, these people are Googling these new kind of beers, and they're missing so many steps. The kind of steps that we had, yeah.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people getting into beer these days, and they're just jumping, like, I don't know if it's new money or whatever it is, they're getting all these crazy hype stuff straight away, and they've never had, like, a classic, like, you know, it's not so much these days, but like something like Hogarden or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, back on the first run of having general lagers and having, like you say, talked earlier, on having something different from this. It's like a journey, isn't it?
Exactly.
A lot of that journey these days, people getting into, it's not just beer, it's any kind of thing. They jump in like 20
straight into
it, and it's like
no, it's
That's
like
it.
a lot of people, like you're basically what you're talking about, which is kind of like based off of what I was saying earlier. Like there's some people that start at the top rung. You know what I mean? Like it's like you used to have to work yourself up to that top rung, and then you work yourself down. Well, now it's like people are like, I know people that are like, I drank my first craft beer, and then 2 days later, I'm like, I'm going to Toppling Goliath to buy all their fucking $900 beer, and it's like, okay, you know, it is what it is, but I don't have a problem with that because like you kind of mumbled it, Craig, but I know you don't care about it, but it's that new money, white collar, fucking super rich people that just don't give a fuck. That's not the problem. That's the problem with the problem with the super rich person that just cares about coveted beers is that they're just care about coveted beers. They actually don't care about beer. So you know, there are people that start at the top rung that'll eventually work their way down to the depths of the fucking peasants.
Of course,
but there's also a bunch of them that'll only care about like new money, dude, bro, super hype, fucking super expensive. Like if the beer doesn't have any value, they don't give a fuck. And but that's not a beer drinker. That's a stamp collector. You know what I mean? Like it's like it doesn't make any sense. So it's like their Venn diagram bisects our Venn diagram, but it's not the same Venn diagram. Like it's like, okay, you'll be here, you'll go away. It is.
I mean, you see a lot of these types on Instagram. It's just like, you know, the beer holes and fuck it. Yeah, how much did that cost? You know, shit like that. It's like, and they've been on Instagram like 3 months or whatever. It's that kind of.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you can just tell,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's what it is.
It's the new money. I have cash to spend, and I want to be part of the hype. And what's the hype? And it is though. It is because you see it here.
It's not even a matter of. Yeah. It's disposable income combined with the want for popularity.
Yeah, well, both of them.
Which has nothing to do with beer. You know what I mean?
It has to do with everything. It has to do with everything. Do you know, for example, when I was, again, I sometimes use this as an example, when I was very much with the single malt shit and whiskey, there's like the growth market in Asia, in like China, whatever, because there's new money there. People are getting rich and they want the hype train, and it doesn't matter what it is. And for a long time, it was whiskey. I know two local bottle shops here that have sold somewhere between 15 and 20,000 euros for one bottle of whiskey to countries like somewhere in Asia, somewhere in the Asian region. They can't disclose which, what, where because, you know, privacy reasons. And these are for people that don't even care about the product. They just want to have the ability to brag. I bought this. There's people out there. Yeah, there's people out there. Thanks to Mike and Sean from NerdSense, I got the chance to have both Heady Topper and Vocal Banger. In that review, the reviews that I did, a lot of people were like, I really want to try that beer. I wish I could have that beer. I need that beer. I want that beer. People commented, I want to be able to go to the brewery and try the beer there. Not because they're curious about the beer, but they want to have that ability to say, I had the beer. I have the bragging rights.
I preferred Focal Banger over Petty anyway. So.
Oh, me too, Craig. Me too, Craig.
I'm so confused. I had both of them.
Craig, you're my best friend now. We're best friends.
You can't have him. You can't have him. Craig's mine.
No,
Craig is mine as soon as he grows his hair back.
I just want to see. Paul here actually has like a really almost perfect point here. He says, "I want good beer, high ABV, huge bottles,
of dirt cheap." There you go.
What I want is I just want good beer, low ABV, huge bottles, and reasonably priced. That's where I would. That's where I tweak that comment because I want a 4%. I want a 3%. No, I want a 2%. No, I want a negative. No, I want a 2%, 3% beer to drink like 7, and I want it. I don't want to have it for $1. If I could get it for $1, I'd buy it for $1.
Could you?
But I want it to be, $12. Whatever, decently priced.
Could you guys just really not discuss the entire thing so much and just leave it at I want good beer?
That's the cusp, man. That's the whole reason.
I want good beer. I want good beer. I want good beer. And that's the thing. I've been missing a lot of beer in my beer lately. Like, this was fun. This was Sugary Rush and whatever. And I finished it because it was 8-point-something% ABV. And I fucking paid money for this, okay? This is not something I got. I paid money for this. So I'm gonna fucking drink it. The 8.2.
But that's where I'd
8.2%.
That's where I'd label that beer. That's where I'd label them top beers. They're fun. There's something different now and again.
And it's not like it's disgusting.
I'm not going to go. I ain't going to go and get a 4-pack or whatever. It's like, it's just no.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And I'm kind of drinking because I paid money for it, and it's not that disgusting that it's a drain pour. But then I still have a little bit of this, and
palate cleanser.
That's a fucking 5.5% ABV Citra Pale Ale. This is €2.50. This is €2.50, €2.60 for a 12-ouncer, not even 11.7. I'll drink this all day, every fucking day.
Yeah, a bit more bitterness. Come on, the bitterness.
Because it's a fucking beer, and Paul, you can say whatever Paul, you can say whatever you want, but you know we're bum buddies. You know we're bumming all the way, day every day.
He's talking to me right now.
Oh, okay. But you're bum buddies with Paul as well.
Because I want low ABV versus his high ABV.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
That's the bum comment.
That's a good point.
Don't let him fool you. He'd bum it all day. He'd bum it.
Oh man, are you kidding me? I long for his body, but sorry, I said that out loud on my live stream, didn't I?
I slept next to it once. So,
Did you now? Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, good beer, yes. I would also include reasonably priced because there are too many breweries charging $20+ a 4-pack for beer that isn't that good. And I know that's mostly IPAs and stuff, and I know I'm not that big into IPAs anymore. I'm not really a fan, but I feel like there are. What is that? What Nightmare Brewing, Matt?
Yeah.
Nightmare is actually called that.
Yeah, their 4-packs are like what, $25 each, and they're fine. Like, they're not. Yeah.
But the problem with them is that their beers are fine for what they do. They do these hyper adjunct fucking crazy beers. But I want fucking a third of a can. I don't want to buy a fucking 4-pack. Like over here in the States, you have to buy 4-packs.
Yeah.
I want a half a can at max. And they're just like, here's a 4-pack for $29. And be like, no, go fuck yourself, dude. I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw. Yeah, I just saw Lee's comment pop up. Yes, more bitterness, please. Man, my bitterness has been my palate for like a month or two now. So I get you, Lee. I feel you. I feel you.
I do. I agree with you.
We completely we reach, brother Lee. We reach. So Lee or Lee. Yeah, man. All of the bitter. Lee man or Manly. There we go. But yeah, no, but the thing is, though, that's a fun thing about maybe it's that I don't know if that's the untapped hype and whatever, but you get like I've had beers that were dirt cheap, but they were like maybe what €2-3 a can, and I would rate them a 4 on Untapped, and then there's beers that are like €16 a can, and they get a 4.25. And my brain sometimes goes like, "Oh, but that's the hype beer, isn't it? That I need that one because everybody's talking about it, and it gets like a 4.35 on Untapped, but it's €16 a bottle or can or what the fucking ever." Fucking Sundered 8, like there you fucking go, you motherfucker. How much is that for you?
I think it was $6 for a bottle.
For a bottle? How much? Do you know that is like give or take €2 a bottle for me?
Well, I bought it because I knew we were doing this, so I was let me pick up something. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
That is, but that beer is off the chain. I like that. That for what it is, that is like €2 a bottle, and that is like classic fucking multi Trappist goodness.
Yeah, a bit of sweetness.
How far are these guys from you in the Netherlands? Where are they in relation to you?
I'm in the Netherlands. Everything is walking distance, bitch.
But I saw it. I've seen this brewery a couple times. I actually the first time I've ever had from them. But I saw it on the shelf at this one place a couple times. And yesterday I was at a bottle shop. I was like, okay. I'm like, Netherlands Trappist. I'm like, I'll try to sneak it in so you don't see it while I'm drinking it. And then
I fucking love it.
Seconds.
Are you aware that they have a Zundert 10 these days? They have a quad.
Well, considering this is the first time I've drank any beer from this brewery, no.
Okay.
Oh, really?
They have a quad these days, actually. So yeah, there you go. They have a 10. But I'll make sure that the next time I send beers
it's
over.
Really good though. It's really good.
Right?
They're
really good.
It is La Trappe, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
No,
it's a Zundert, Brouwerij Kiewiet.
Right, okay. Now they looked a little bit. I saw the trap bit. I was like, it's not, is it?
I get that. I get that confuses like the hell because it's sort of like. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but,
same kind of styling, but totally different.
Yeah.
Like the trap runs that golden orange label. They're doing it purple.
Yeah, the trap golden. That used to be my go-to for like ages. I used to drink the shit out of that.
Craig, when you come over, I'll make sure that we have some of the little trap quad and the Sunday 10 and 8 and whatever. We'll do a comparison thing. And when I'm going to send it over to the Americans, I'm going to make sure that Keith and Matt get the Sunday 8, the Sunday 10, the quad from Let's Start whatever. I'm going to make sure you guys can do like a comparison review. You guys can sit down and compare a few of those beers, and that's going to be.
Anybody that's watching this right now, I implore you to go back about 30 seconds. Yes. And you'll watch Thomas talk to Craig in this deeply English accent and then start talking about sending American beers and convert to an American accent. It's honestly it's the best thing you can do right now. He went back like about 30 seconds and he'll have this posh English thing going on and he's like, I'm gonna send these American stuff. And it's just like, it's fantastic. Keith, you know what I'm talking about. Right?
He went British, then he went English or American, and then he kind of like went in between both of them. And it was a very
I'm sorry.
Well, for me, it was a very enjoyable experience.
No, it was fantastic. I'm not making fun of you, Thomas. It's just you're.
I know you're not, but I fucking did it. I fucking did it again. Sorry. The thing is, I try to keep. I know that I'm talking to all of you, so I try to keep. But I said this before. This is the Sorry, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I have this weird thing with accents that when I hear things, I pick them up, and I try to keep it sort of generic American thing English, but. Yeah, when I'm talking, if you go for shits and giggles, go to last Friday's live stream with Craig on his channel, and you'll see how basically I don't think there was any American in there. That's just me going full. Let's see, it's me going full fucking It's me going full fucking British all the fucking time, isn't it? It's not it's full fucking English, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's just. Man,
Isn't it?
Isn't it? I love it. I love it when Katie goes, "Isn't it?"
She does that all the time to me.
Oh, by the way, I loved your review the other day. By the way, with the chocolate porter. I'm sorry. Acknowledge the cactus. That's like the fucking review. That was like the first 10 seconds of the entire review was you guys. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what happened before, but all I know is that the first thing said in the entire review was Katie looking at you saying, "Acknowledge the cactus."
Oh, because we were talking about
all of the T's.
We were talking about something like because we did some videos like before, and then I was like, oh. Coming back at you with a mustache or whatever, and I was like, I'm not gonna do any of that, like whatever. And then she was like, acknowledge the cactus, and then I was like, all right, we're gonna start, and I'm keeping that in.
I love that. It's just I saw that review at the first. I don't know. I love it. Acknowledge the cactus. That at some point I will have a tattoo here. It's gonna say acknowledge the cactus. That's gonna. Fucking love that. Imagine Matt and I, Matt and me, whatever. Matt and you guys.
No, it's Matt and I.
Let's talk to if you had any weapons or anything, then you had a machete. No, but the thing is, machete. That's the only thing. That's the thing that you worry about with Paul. A machete. That's the thing you worry about. You need to think bigger.
I trust him.
I trust Paul, but. Just a machete. There's going to be a lot of things in that car.
Yeah.
That's a true story, by the way. Like we're literally stopped the border pole, and I'm like, "You don't have anything." He's like, "I have a machete." I'm like, "Awesome."
I believe that.
That's what it is. But the best part about it was, me and Paul drove up there. So me and Paul drove up for Albino Rhino's like beer fest. This is what 2014, 15, whatever it is, and a beer tuber kind of thing. And we were driving up there, me and him together in my car, and I got stopped at the border going into Montreal like 10 years earlier. I went to Montreal and they wouldn't let us in. Like it was me and three other friends, and we're assholes. We're young. We're like fucking half out of our mind. And it was like, no, we're not going to let you into Canada because you guys are douchebags. And we're like, fuck you. And they made us go home. That was like 10 years previous. So me and Paul go up to Canada, and I'm not even thinking about that. Like that was 10 years previous, and we pull into the checkpoint or whatever it is, and they're asking us questions, asking us for ID and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, okay, pull over there. So it's like we're not going straight through. It's like we're being not detained, but we're being checked extra. And the border patrol agent like walks up the door and so Mr. Dapkins, my name, and he's like, why did we stop you at the border last time and refuse you entrance? And like I didn't even remember that happened. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, I sat for like probably like 10 seconds, like scanning my memory, and I'm like, and I looked at him and went, oh, I was like fucking 21 and I was a piece of shit asshole. And I was giving guff to like the border patrol guy, and I'm just a douchebag back then. But I'm sorry for being a jerk. I'm not that guy now. And he's just like, Okay, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, it was totally what it was. It was like I was young, and dumb and stupid. I was like, yeah, I was a dumb, young, stupid guy.
Yeah, but you did the Canadian.
happened.
You did basically the Canadian good trick. You did. I'm sorry, eh?
But it was truthful. It was like he's like, why did this happen? I was like, yeah, I was an asshole when I was a kid. He's like, yeah, that sounds like.
With one or two exceptions, I can guarantee you, Canadians, when you say "I'm sorry," they understand. They're like, there's one or two exceptions. That's like, but most of them will say when you say "I'm sorry," they're like, all right.
The best part is that we go up there, we have fun, we have a good time, we hang out.
Oh man,
the whole thing, and then we're coming back, and like Paul and I have I'm in a GTI, a silver GTI, and like the trunk is packed with beer, like packed, and we're driving back, and we get to the border, and we drive over, and we have anything to declare, and we're like, I mean, we have some beer, and they're like, how much? And we're like, dude. way too much. And the guy was like, he rubbed his forehead and he's like, just go. He's like, just go. He's like, we have way too much.
I don't want this paperwork.
Either you're doing paperwork for all day or you just tell us to leave and we'll just go. And he's like, just go. He's like,
I can guarantee you it was the paper. I was the paperwork, because I can guarantee you right now when Sean and Mike sent me that beer mail, you guys put. I know Matt, you put some beers in there as well. They had the brilliant idea. We can't label it as beer because you can't ship beer. So how are we going to label it? Let's label it as yeast examples. Yeast is a bacteria. Let's have a parcel that's shipped as bacteria during COVID. That's a fucking brilliant idea. So the first thing that Dutch Customs did when it came in was like, let's open this. The amount of paperwork I had to go through, and 2 bills. I had to pay 2 bills in total, spread over 2 or 3 months.
$200?
What?
When you say 2 bills, I mean, I hear $200 American dollars.
No. Like, not that much. No, but I had 2 separate bills. I had one that came in. I had one that came in as an email. They said, like, this was all legitimate. Don't worry. It wasn't a scam. This was literally from UPS Customs Services. They were like, you need to pay this amount of money. I was like, fine, it's cool. I get it. And then like 2 months later, I got this envelope that said, yeah, you're still due money because we did the entire paperwork now. We finally fucking calculated this bullshit. You still owe us money. It's fucking bullshit. So yeah, he was just thinking like, I don't want to crunch numbers or whatever. You just go, fuck off. Off you shall fuck. So yeah, but that's Canadians for you. They're kind of cool.
Wait, so when I send you my yeast samples, what should I label them as?
Collectible glassware.
Oh,
I'll send you some samples.
Yeah. No. Oh God, no. It's a bit hazy.
A bit, yeah.
Well, it smells like asparagus. What are you gonna do?
Oh Jesus! Oh man, we lost track of the entire subject of this live stream, but it's a fucking good one though. It's fucking amazing. I should get a beer at some point again.
Yeah, I need one too.
Yeah, mini lava lamps. Lee's saying, yeah.
Yeah, maybe lava lamps. Thank you for the advice, Lee. That's a good one.
Well, how about you guys, all of you, go get your beers? And me and Craig will entertain. How about that?
Warns them there's liquid in the package. No, there's always liquid. There's always liquid in my package. There you go. Ha ha. I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, me too.
There we go. They're both gone. Thank God for that.
How's life?
Yeah, it's all right. It's been tough the last couple of days. Not gonna lie. Not for me, but Littland. So it's like,
Yeah,
that's the first time in a while for her. But yeah, she's been a bit aggy. But apart from that, yeah, it's generally all right. Pubs are opening up in the UK tomorrow. It's the first time since early November. Indoors drinking, like roller sticks to a table. So that's all going tomorrow. You can go and stay at someone's house overnight and stuff like that. 2 households can mix from tomorrow. So there's a bit of progression there and positivity, which is great. Which I think everyone needs. So that's good. A little bit of happiness for people, which is nice.
More specifically, your girl, she's doing well.
She's doing all right generally. Yeah, she's doing really well at school. Her reading is just off the chain for her age.
Good.
Because I've been getting she's got one of them like Nintendo Switches, and a lot of the games now that you have to read. You press something, and they're talking to each other, and all that, and you have to read it. So she's learning to read with actually something she wants to do. So she's picking it up without realising and things like that. Which that's one of the reasons I got her it, just to see. And that's improved her reading, I think, since the turn of the year. Her reading's really good. Just her writing will follow suit, according to her teacher. And there's going to be a lag of about 6 months, I reckon. I don't know. But yeah, she's doing good. So that's the main thing. But yeah, it's been a bit wobbly the last few days, but it's been generally all right. So that's good news.
Good.
Yeah. A few things planned. It's her 6th birthday next month, so it's like,
6 already.
Yeah, I've got to work out all of that stuff because I've never done it before. All that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, you do it. So now it's like, oh, fuck. I've got to do it. So, yeah. We'll sort something out one way or another. Probably be multiple days worth of parties, no doubt, at different places. So, yeah. How's that beer, Matt?
It's actually really good, man. Like, honestly, like, I'm a big
Netherlands,
Belgian double, Belgian quad kind of guy, and I picked this up not necessarily like as a goof, but like, I'll try it, and it's really tasty, man. It's a really good beer.
I think I've had that before, but a long time ago. I don't.
It's the best before August of this year, so definitely has some time. Minimum 3 years. Yeah, and there's like best before 21, 8/8/21. So
maybe 5 years on that.
I don't know if they're doing 3 or 5. But it's really good beer, man. Surprising.
I must admit, I fancy something different like that. Just seems to be going down the same road all the time. And I mix up a bit with these like Pilsners and Helles beers, and they've been really good. Some German bit, look at that, things like that,
Now that's beer.
Yeah, that's nice. So I need to change it up a bit more with Belgian action and stuff like that, and traditional English stuff. I'm going to go for a couple of pints of cask beer tomorrow afternoon.
Matt,
that'll be refreshing.
Yeah,
actually getting back to some cask beer, which is fun.
I mean, the pubs are open. It's all outside drinking, but the weather's been so turbulent the last few weeks. It's just like
the weather's been fucking weird, mate.
And that's kind of how it is here in the States. It's
bloody chill. It's cold, and it's heavy showers and shit, and it's like
some weird fucking thunderstorms today. Really fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I love how Thomas is like the weird mystery science theater 3000, but opposite. Like, we're talking and he's just dropping shit on top that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's like he's the movie.
What did I fucking do? What did I do? I just made a comment about the weather.
You just gave us the cold shoulder.
The weather?
The weather? Where you from right now, Thomas? Are you sure you're from Deutschland, or are you, what, you from up there? Yeah.
I do what I do, and I don't know what I do half of the time. That's the problem.
That should be your tagline on your channel.
Fuck me,
I
yes,
don't know
it
what I
should be.
do, but I do what I do, and I don't know what I do half of the time. That should be literally like your like or spread across your channel.
And that, yeah.
And then beer reviews at the end, just like.
No, but I honestly, seriously, did I say what? I'm not even drunk. That's the problem. Did I really say something weird? I'm not intoxicated. I swear to God. What did I do? What did I do?
You basically became like a weird English commercial, and then eventually became like an American, but quickly pivoted back to like a neutral English speaker. Like it was magic. Honestly.
You were like saying certain words.
I don't.
Like,
honest to God, I don't know what I do half of the time when it comes to language. I hear several things. So I was doing a few things here, and I hear words, I hear language, and I pick it up, and my brain says I need to.
Okay, let's put it this way.
An advanced AI.
Well,
obviously.
this is okay, Thomas. This is exactly what you just did. You said aluminium elevator.
Aluminium.
Well,
Aluminium.
no, that's what you and said. Better yet, you said aluminium binoculars. Instead of aluminium binoculars, you said aluminium binoculars.
Yeah.
Where you could have said aluminum binoculars.
Yes, because aluminum is American and aluminium is English. Yeah. I know.
Well, that's exactly my fucking point. Like jumping back between all that stuff. Anyway,
I don't know. I'm brilliant that way or stupid that way. You make a choice. It's either brilliant or stupid.
It has nothing to do with stupid, man. It has to do with
advanced.
It is. You know what it is? It's highly fucking entertaining. Apparently.
It's colors with a U, man. That's all.
It's advanced AI. I've never seen Thomas in person, so I assume he's advanced AI.
It's herbs and herbs.
Adapts to its environment very. The refresh rate is very quick.
No. See, here's the thing, and I will combat that concept: is that there's no way advanced AI could like mimic the drunkenness that Thomas has shown on several occasions. Like,
oh my god!
The nuance of drunkenness can't be done.
This is nothing we've ever seen before.
No, I have done. That is true. I have done some crazy online drunken shit.
I mean, especially
my fucking god.
Dude. You know how, dude?
What do you mean?
No joke. Not even like the nuance. No, the nuance of being drunk is epically hard. Once you kind of compartmentalize that into like a tiny little 4-foot frame, it's not even scientifically. It's not even possible. That tiny of a human doing drunken hilariousness is just. I don't even know if it can be done.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about. And this is
AI couldn't learn like drunk equals take clothes off. Like is that?
No, that's not even the worst one. I know exactly.
No, you know what? Keith has me questioning myself because I know the Oompa Loompas were artificially generated in fucking Willy Wonka. So maybe that's okay. Maybe you can make little tiny microscopic people do things.
All I know is taking my shirt off was one thing, but I know that. Oh my god, I rewatched that one a few weeks ago.
Oh dear.
The drunken dial.
Which one? Yeah.
No, but the drunken. But Matt and Keith were there at the drunken dial.
All right.
Oh, what was I?
I don't.
You were there. No, exactly. But I rewatched that a while ago. You were there. It was a live stream. You two were there. I did a drunken dial. I called somebody while drunk.
Wait,
live on YouTube.
No, wait. Was that the live stream we did the barley wine thing?
No, that was another drunk me.
Another drunk.
That was the one where I wanted to go. That was the one actually, Keith. in my defense, you were worse. You were worse off
Oh,
than
yeah.
I was because
Absolutely.
you didn't even remember that live stream.
Oh no, I have no idea.
But that was the live stream where
I remember
I
it
was
starting. I remember
was
it starting, but I don't remember.
I remember that one because I was about to go to bed. I was
Yeah.
about to go to bed, and Matt dropped the link. Matt dropped the link in the chat, and I was like, "Fuck you guys! I'm about to go to bed. I'm already drunk. I don't need this." And Matt said, "Yes, you do," and I was. Yeah, I do. And I came online, and I even fucking drunk. I was already drunk, and I pulled out a barrel-aged barley wine.
It's my fault, right?
That was fucking your fault.
Because I didn't send I totally didn't send a message to you saying you have to. Like, you're making that up in your brain. So that's fantastic. Like, Matt told me I had to, but like, no, I didn't. But like, no, we didn't. I'm like,
okay. Going back a little bit to what was being said before about Thomas being very short. I just want to say, I still laugh, and I tell Katie. I told Katie about it, and we still laugh. So I laugh about it by myself, but then we also laugh about it. I think it was the last live stream, and we were making fun of Thomas because he's what?
Huge.
1.5 feet tall or something. And Matt and Thomas threatened to pull out the swords, and Matt was like, if you were holding a butter knife, it looked like a broadsword.
I swear to God, go to it happened again. I swear to God, it happened again during the Friday night live stream. I don't know what went on, but we were talking about nerd stuff. For some reason, on Craig's live stream last Friday, we were talking about nerdy shit. The swords got out again.
it would, though. It would. Like, if you hold up a fucking butter knife and be like, okay.
No. I am 6 foot. I am 6 feet 2. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tall.
You keep saying that.
I'm 9'10". I'm 9 foot 10 feet tall. I'm 9 inches 10 feet tall.
Those are all magnums behind him.
Yeah. This right here. This is this is a fucking like a huge. This is like 9 liters. This is like a 9-liter bottle right now. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jetty the Bay. He's the one that said. By the way, this is you don't have to defend yourself. Let them talk Dutch for once. Yes, thank you. You guys should try Dutch. And he's wondering if he can rewatch that live stream. You can. I'm not sure if you want to, but you can.
I still have to go rewatch the after barley wine.
No.
Thing.
No.
You told me to. You're the one who told me to. Katie was like, "You don't want to see that," and I was like, "I kind of do." And then you were like, "Yeah, you should." And now both of you are like, "Don't do it."
No, I don't know, man.
Is it like too far, like in the past, to even revisit that, or
dude?
I was according to Katie, I was pretty bad that night.
You were. In
a bad way.
Coming from me, the guy who's made a living of being drunk online. My 6'2" glorious.
It's Matt's fault because he was like, "Oh, come over and we'll do these barley wines," and then he's like, "Oh, we should do like 3 or 4 beers before that."
Fuck you, dude! You even had a non-alcoholic barley wine. Go figure.
Oh, that was the. No, that was that was supposed to be a bourbon barrel-aged stout, a non-alcoholic bourbon barrel-aged stout.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I actually we did that on the live stream.
Yeah.
I am actually kind of curious to.
No, I'm not sure. Wait. I'm not sure if you did it on the live stream, but the video that you posted where you did the review of it was in that setup that Matt had the beanie and you were with the heater thing.
Oh, because I know I did a review here, so that must have been on the live stream then. Well,
oh man, all I know is
it was a night. It was a experience.
that's what I think. That's one of several live streams where I took my shirt off.
I've been on about 2 or 3 where you've taken your shirt off.
Are you guys aware, by the way, that Matt actually has? So remember when I sent beers to the States for the Nerd Sense guys and from Matt, because whatever you guys sent me beer, they sent me beers, I send the beers back. Yeah. So when Matt did the unboxing, he actually, the thumbnail for that video is me sitting basically the way I am right now, but then shirtless. Yeah, that's the same fucking.
It's probably on Harry's stream. Was it on Harry's stream or?
Oh, man, I don't know. I was in a weird place and.
There was you was in the same room you're in now.
Yeah, well, in a weird mental headspace. I was joking. Yeah, I know you are, brother, and you know why I was in a weird mental headspace. So there you go. But yeah, I was having fun, and I'm still having fun. And honestly, what the?
See, if I do that, people pay attention. But I am leaving. I'm gonna go hang out with my wife and enjoy the rest of the night.
Holy shit! I wasn't even aware that this live stream was already going for like 2 hours.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because I'm leaving. So.
Yeah, that's cool. But please do me a favor: don't end broadcast.
Okay.
I still remember that.
I had a blast. It was great seeing you, Thomas.
I had a great time, dude.
Keith, enjoy your month long of sobriety. I have 19 cases of beer for you, and hopefully, guys,
was that Matt? Was that the month free of sobriety that started 16 days ago?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Sure, it is.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, of course. That's why I always take my shirt off. It's not my fault. There you go.
Cheers, gentlemen. Enjoy your night.
Cheers.
Hey, have fun with the family, dude. Cheers.
Take care.
But yeah, no, this is fun. It was totally your fault.
Cheers for letting me join anyway. So appreciate it.
Of course, I wanted to send you the link because I also thought that the discussion that we were having that we kind of had, but we didn't have.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know enough about some of them subjects. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I think I'd know if I was a brewer. I think Harry would be definitely more down Harry's stream.
Yeah, I did actually invite Harry, but he was busy today.
Yeah, no, I didn't know he was doing it until like half hour before. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I figured I'd invite you because I know you. I like hanging out with you guys. It's all. There we go. I actually picked up on that one. There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I picked up on it.
Was Harry busy today, or was he busy today?
Today. Yeah.
Today. Yeah.
The phrase non-alcoholic bourbon barrel-aged imperial style got me sick to my stomach and full.
I don't get the point of that. What's the point of that?
It's from one of the in the United States we have at least 2 that I know of that they're breweries, but they are specifically non-alcoholic.
But how do you get barrel aged?
There's apparently a few techniques, and some of them have their own. I know there's one in Canada that is I'm pretty sure they have their own brewery, but they're non-alcoholic too. But yeah, I don't really know that much about it.
It won't be hard to find. You'll find one sooner or later.
Yeah, the beer that I had wasn't
Fuck off.
kind of. It was.
Sorry, go for it, Keith. Sorry, I'm sorry, Keith.
Sorry.
Keep talking, Keith.
Sorry, mate.
It was. That beer in particular was. I thought it was good. It just wasn't what it said it was supposed to be, kind of thing.
I mean, this sounds weird, but there's only really one nation that really cracked the code to non-alcoholic beers, and that's Germany.
Yeah.
For some reason, they are the only country. And here's the fun fact: there is one Dutch brewery. Wow. Burpees. There is one Dutch brewery that has cracked the code as well, but they learned with, I think it was via Stefana. I think it was via Stefana, but they studied and learned with one of the German breweries for not like, let's go there for 2 days. No, they actually really spent a lot of time there and learned how to make great non-alcoholic beers. And it's easy to make a non-alcoholic IPA because hops can really mask a lot of the off flavors in those non-alcoholic beers. They even did I think it was on one of your streams, was it, Craig, that I did that non-alcoholic Bock beer?
Yeah, I believe a few weeks ago, was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was that non-alcoholic Bock, and that was actually kind of nice. I like that one, and I did that one. It's Van de Streek. They make some great non-alcoholic beers. They actually won. I always hate those, awards given to beers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Dutch Beer Challenge. But they did win some awards with their non-alcoholic beers. Actually, it is possible to brew a very well-tasting non-alcoholic beer, as in not a non-alcoholic beverage. I mean, actually something that tastes like a beer.
Yeah.
It is just very hard. And here's the thing. To make one that tastes like a beer, especially if you want to make it barrel-aged, whatever, a lot of those beers get so expensive, most people will just say, fuck it, I'll have a water.
I'll have a real bourbon barrel-aged stout.
Yes, they'll either think like, I'll just have a water instead of a non-alcoholic beer, or I'll have an actual beer. There you go.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that the market for like 1% to 4% beers, regardless of style, hasn't like blown up, because I feel like the crazy ABV beers has blown up and the non-alcoholic beers have blown up. But like if
in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah, like if we had let's say I don't know what a good percentage would be. Like, let's say 60% of the entire beer industry across the globe was 1 to 4%. And people might get angry at me. I'm speaking from my own perspective. Like if 60% of the beer industry were like, oh, we're going to brew between 1% and 4% beers, and that's going to be the majority of beers, and then the other 40% was non-alcoholic and like crazy. Well, I guess 5% isn't crazy, or 4.5% is crazy. So yeah, maybe my ABV things are a little bit off. But like,
I get you.
If that was like, I feel like it's yeah.
I understand what you're trying to say, because wait, let me quickly go through these comments, because Paul's going on a rant, so I want to give him some attention. Otherwise, he thinks I don't love him, and I do love you, Paul. You know that, right? I do desire you. Like urban winners kill the microwaves, kill the imports. I keep my hate rant about non. Yeah, dude, but I love this one. Fuck. Fuck you, Paul. Fuck you.
Self-awareness is good.
Yeah. Like something about a self-aware AI, right?
But they do, a lot of breweries, they do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it feels like every kind of beer you pick up, oh, it's won this award, this. It's like. So one day I will do some research on these things and find out whether it's actually true or not. You know?
And
the way.
Oh, go ahead.
No, Keith.
Oh, I was just gonna make a quick comment. Breweries like to hold on to those things for a while. Like, oh, this won best beer like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's like, fucking hell. You're still milking that.
So here's the thing.
What the fuck have you done since then?
So do you know how these contests work?
Yeah, you pay them to say what you want.
Exactly. If you want to enter, if you want to enter those contests about best beer, whatever, you have to pay.
The thing is, though, a lot of the best breweries don't enter them.
Oh,
no, because they either think like we're not going to pay because we want to have our product speak for themselves, or it's the smaller breweries that think we can't afford this.
Well,
and here's the thing.
Can I just make a comment before you continue?
Always, because I'm going to go rant, so you should better go first.
I would just say also some of those breweries, kind of like here at like GABF, like Treehouse doesn't enter, other half doesn't enter because they don't have to. Because everybody buys their beer anyway.
Right?
Like the people who buy their beer don't give a shit what GABF says or whatever.
But that's and the other thing is, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but we have 700 plus breweries in our small, shitty country.
Shitty.
Maybe 40 or 50 of them.
That's an understatement, right, Craig?
That's an understatement. But in my state, my state, it's a state of fucking being, isn't it? 40 or 50 breweries in total will enter the contest. 700 plus breweries in my country, and 40 or 50 will enter the contest. How can you get a decent demographic of best beer in this country when
it should be easier, really?
It should be, but that's the thing. That's the problem. A lot of them will not enter because they can't afford to enter the contest.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And that's why I hate all of those best brewery, best beer contest, beer challenge. Fuck that bullshit, because I have seen. Sorry,
you can't say it's won this for this category or that category unless everybody's in it.
Yeah. That's the problem, and I love Le Trappe Quad, but Le Trappe won an award, and I'm like, this is basically a macro brewery. First of all, I feel that the macro breweries should be disqualified simply because they're big money.
And there are certain bigger breweries that are technically like craft breweries that the regulation should be more strict. To exclude them, because what you were saying, Thomas, like some of these breweries can't afford to like brew the amount of beer that they need to do a beer fest like GABF or whatever. So they can't even. It's not even a thing that they can even think about doing.
Yep.
No,
sorry.
No, I was just trying to. No, go on. I'm trying to think what I was going to say.
Go think. I'll be quiet, and it'll be a nice moment of silent reflection.
Well, the macro brewery, all the big macro breweries, that they should be in a competition with themselves.
Yeah.
Say we won best macro lager of the year or something, but they never will. Of course, it won't be worded that way.
Yeah, it should include the breweries that they own.
Exactly, that's my point. So then, Schwinkels, Bavaria, they own, for example, the Molen. Now, I know that both of you probably know of the Molen.
Yeah,
I've had a beer from them for ages. I still
No, but you do know. But they're macro owned these days. They're owned by Bavaria, by Schwinkels. And Bavaria Schwinkels is like at the same level as like Heineken and stuff like that.
When were they taken over?
A year or two ago. But I will say one thing. The reason that the Molen was taken over, the Molen, Schwinkels, Bavaria, already had like a minority percentage in the Molen. Menno, who is the owner of the Molen, he had some severe health issues, and he couldn't do the day-to-day managing of the brewery anymore. The reason that he sold out was very simple. He said, I have two choices. I can either go bankrupt and a lot of people will lose their jobs, or I sell out, and people can still go to work tomorrow. Yeah. So his reason for selling out was a legitimate one, because he was concerned about the people that work for him, and he wanted to make sure they still have a day-to-day job. However, I feel the quality of the beer dropped. I do feel that there is, and yeah.
I was just saying, I haven't had I'm pretty sure I haven't had a beer from them since 2017. The Molen. Whatever you want to call it.
The Molen. Yeah, I don't know. The last one.
I reviewed their Rasputin in a can. You know, one of them like Red Bull type cans.
I love that. Which is funny that you guys got that, because here in the Netherlands, the can
here in the Netherlands. Oh,
fuck off! Fuck off! Did I?
There you go.
Wait, there's the
all the fuck off. Yeah. Well, that's yeah. Swearing Finn.
I do actually.
Yeah. Yeah. If you send us some, yeah.
Yeah, go for it. No, that can that you're talking about, that Red Bull can, that was only available at the brewery here in the Netherlands. That was never available in retail.
Got sent to the UK.
Fuck off! I do have the can though. I bought it at
I've got it. I think it's down on the cellar. I've still got the can.
Empty or full?
No, it's the one I reviewed, so it's definitely
okay.
empty.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Nice.
If it was full, you had probably sold it for like $9 million or something.
Cha-ching!
Whatever. I don't know.
I don't know what happened, but we went from 12 viewers to 3.
What, Matt left?
Yeah.
Matt. No, like in the last few minutes.
All right.
I was gonna say something, but I don't remember.
Oh, that's like basically me every day.
Oh, I was going to address the one comment by PA Brew News.
Mm-hmm.
The Stone Brewdog Beaverton Sierra Nevada Rogue founders Lagunitas and others shouldn't attend. Absolutely, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, but
they have
also I should say,
who are Stone owned by? I thought they were legit, but obviously not. I don't know.
Who?
Stone Brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, they're kind of like Brewdog, like they
22%.
own themselves, but they're like billionaires, so like they like basically like they're like
they've done it themselves. I think if you've done it yourself, I mean, Brewdog's part owned anyway. But,
is it now?
That entire sentence, they own themselves. That sounds like masturbation.
22%. Yeah.
Sorry.
When you have that kind of money, you shouldn't like.
No, definitely Beavertown. They're Heineken 100%.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada, I don't know about them. I don't know about Rogue much. I don't know.
Rouge.
I don't
No, sorry,
know
that's not Rogue. That's Rouge.
I don't know. I know about Lagunitas, of course, but they still produce really good beer at good prices by the sound of it. So I don't care anyway. I just, at the end of the day, it's people have got families and stuff. So
yeah,
and that's the thing.
Well, it's like I said before, just like they should adjust the regulation as far as like who's allowed to attend certain breweries, because like a lot of people, and I include myself in this, a lot of people aren't like up on the who purchased who.
No,
and
I care about
like
it, but then there'll be others I don't, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So like so better regulation as far as like craft brewery or craft brewing what are they called? Festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the GA BF they normally group all these breweries together, don't they? That's like the Lagunitas and all that sort of crowd. Normally in one area. What I've heard.
Well,
I don't know. They're not spread out within the festival. It's all AB InBev crowd or whatever at that end and all that. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I've never been.
Well,
who cares? Who cares anyway?
I hate the wait. Let me put this one up. I hate the switch.
Oh right, there you go. Yeah,
so actually, because I just realized we've been going at it for over 2 hours, and
2 hours. Oh fuck! It's been 2 hours.
Just getting started.
Shut up, dude. This is just. Yeah, this is not.
It's that in between thing a little bit.
So the thing is, you do one or the other, or you also sometimes do this like in between kind of thing. That's funny. It is. I don't know what it is. I do this weird accent thing. Anyway, I wanted to say I hate the social political beer politics. If they make good beer and I can afford it, I buy it. I think that's kind of sort of like the topic about this live stream that got completely sidetracked because we were talking about my stupid accents and whatever.
Well, obviously, more important.
My alarm clock goes in about 6.5 hours. I should at some point get some sleep and be aware of the fact that I have a job and need to work in the morning. I think that's the biggest thing here. If you like it, drink it. If you can afford it, drink it. If it's your beer, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more of the competition thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Awards and stuff. It's more
the
about
awards,
that.
but also the entire subject, the evolution of beer. Like, the thing is, beer isn't static.
No.
Beer changes, and the way that we perceive beer, the way that we look at beer, the way that we enjoy beer, it is constantly changing. It is constantly subject to the evolution of, it's just subject to evolution. It's subject to the desires of market and demand. It's subject to the continuously changing flavor profile of the people that enjoy beer. And who enjoys beer? People. And Craig, at one point, we were talking, like we were making some comments about the overtly sweet, weird, lactose milkshake IPAs.
Oh, no.
There's a market.
Every single one of them is garbage, and no one should ever drink them.
That's true. I did. I did. Hey, I drank it because I paid for it, and I'm gonna fucking have it.
One of the worst ones I've had for that is from Flying Monkey in Canada. Their something transmission.
Yeah, but that's Canada for you. I mean, you don't want to go to.
Oh, but it's seriously like.
Ignore Canada. That's what I've learned.
Well,
I've had
Don't know what
two.
they're really talking about.
I've had two beers that had lactose in them that were like really bad.
Live transmission. That's
Just based on as far as like obviously I don't specifically know the beer that I'm drinking. I don't know how much lactose is in it, but one was an IPA and one was a sour IPA with lactose, and yeah, they were
too sweet for me. Too sweet for me, Paul. Far too bloody sweet. And the can's too much, you know. Oh, no.
Well, we all know Paul. Paul does enjoy a lot of stuff.
I'm surprised he likes that kind of thing.
Sorry, Paul.
I thought he was more into the West Coast bitterness kind of thing rather than these sweet milkshake things. I'm surprised.
I think Paul is like me. I didn't so much the milkshake passion fruit infused double IPA thing I just had. I didn't enjoy it as a beer, but I appreciated it as a beverage. Katie! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Katie!
He's going all American now.
Come live with us, Thomas. It'll be fun.
I'm sorry. Katie, they're making fun of me because of my accent.
I'm not.
That's exactly correct.
No!
To be fair, she didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I didn't.
But also,
I just heard his accent. I was like, yes.
But also, yeah. But
Craig, I apologize for what's going to happen right now.
Look,
all right. Really, I don't really care about the fact that everybody's taking the fucking mickey out of me because
my god,
fucking change around fucking accents every
really
whatever the fuck I want. If I want to talk fucking,
very good.
I don't know,
no,
good.
Dick fan fucking
Really?
dyke British.
Fuck
off.
Stop it, Thomas. You're making Katie more attracted to you than me. You need to stop.
Look, Keith, I can tell you one thing.
Don't
Keith.
do that.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing too, Thomas. We're never gonna meet because if we do, you're gonna steal my woman, and that is unacceptable.
Oh my god.
Keith,
This is what it's turned into.
Keith.
I mean, it's
It was really bad.
probably not.
Now it's got better.
Keith?
Are you talking about when Thomas stole your woman
Keith?
Oh shit, sorry. Oh, sorry. Things just came rushing back to me.
Yeah, Keith. I just want to say one thing. Keith, I just want to say one thing. I got to know you over the last few years, and I know myself. Trust me, you are several classes above me. Don't worry. There is no way. There is no way. I am beneath you, and I bow to your greatness. Don't worry. Okay.
Well, yeah, we're talking about height.
Yeah, exactly. You are the better man. Don't worry about that. I think maybe at some point we should by now end this live stream.
Yeah, I think Katie and I are going to go for a walk. She just got home from
I put
work.
my overalls on and everything.
Yeah,
Ooh.
she's ready to go.
You guys should go for a walk. Thomas can steal my ex-woman if he's a masochist. Paul, I'm not a masochist, but there's some interesting things I can tell you. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm just being an idiot right now. I'm being an idiot right now. No. That's because Paul. That's an in joke between. It's an in joke between Paul and me.
I'm shocked you like lactose in an IPA, Paul. Really am.
Yeah, that's basically Paul is all about his high ABV stouts and barley wines and whatever.
No, I get
And now,
that bit,
and now he's talking about I like milkshake IPAs. Go fuck yourself, dude. No.
Weird. It's really out of character for me.
We don't trust you anymore, Paul. We don't believe you. You have been lying to us.
Oh my god,
No.
we've got a legend. We've got 2 legends talking to us now, not just one.
There he is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yo.
I would very much like to take this opportunity to
Yeah.
end this live stream with the following.
Not because you've joined, Joe, but yeah.
No, not because you joined, because we were looking for a good reason to end this anyway.
I wasn't.
It's all facade. Paul drinks nothing but 4% Kolsch. I doubt that, actually. Stay far, far away, Thomas. Paul,
Wait.
you go drink whatever you want. Joe, thank you for joining us. And I know that right now, life for you is a shit show. I mean, I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. Your life has been fucking weird and a shit show right now. And I really fucking hope that very soon you are going to be able to do the most glorious thing that you're capable of, which is reviewing all the great, milkshake IPAs and milk stouts that you love and all that crazy fucking sweet kettle sours with lactose in it that you love. And you can put all those reviews of all those horrible beers that most of us hate. Yeah, most of us hate those beers, but you seem to fucking love them for some weird fucking reason. And you can put all those fucking reviews back on YouTube again, and we can finally enjoy that beautiful face of yours. And we miss you, man. We miss you, and we think of you, and we worry about you. And we hope that your life is going to take a turn for the better very, very soon. Especially since considering you've been very open about the fact that, surgery was supposed to happen and shit happened. We think of you. We care for you. You're part of the beer community. You're part of, one of us. I hope your life takes a turn for the better very soon, man, and that you can join all of us in the beer community again and join the live streams, get wrecked at weird times.
You don't have to drink; just join.
Yeah. Hey, Craig's right. If you want to join us with just a cup of tea, Governor.
Yeah, or a milkshake IPA.
Or a fucking milkshake IPA. No, but join us. The same goes for Paul, by the way. I know your internet sucks, and you live in the most shitty places, but you always feel free to join.
My internet's been a lot better tonight for some reason. I don't know why.
You're doing pretty good for unless it doesn't know fuck it right. Well,
You'll be fine. Think positive, stay positive. You'll be all right. Just get over your illness first, and then get it done. Have you got a date yet for it as well? Oh, you can message me. So.
Yeah.
Did you just ask Paul? Did you just ask Joe if he has a date? You never ask me if I have a date.
No, but I want to get in quick. So.
Let's see. Let's no more getting wrecked for me post surgery. When I join live streams, it'll be single beer or beer. Dude, like Craig just said, if you want to join and just drink a cup of tea or coffee or juice or water, it's not about the beer. It's about you.
That's not why I would be taking Joe out, but
that's true.
That was a joke.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
No. It'll be a single beer. Look, Joe, just take care of yourself, man. Just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And the way that Craig takes care of himself, and I take care of myself, especially the way that Keith takes care of himself, because
because I don't.
He takes very good care of himself.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I don't know why I did that. It's a bit of a...
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I feel like that was such a weird time because Matt was like, all the beers, and I was like, I want to try this beer, and he was like, no, all of them. I want to.
How would you do beer?
Or I may have been that way, and I'm just misremembering.
Joe, how would you do beer festivals in the future? That'd be pretty tricky, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Just
That's a good point.
It's going to be really hard.
I mean, like if you're like I would say like like you would just pick out the if they're doing 4-ounce pours or whatever, decide, oh, these are the 4 beers I want to try absolutely, or or whatever.
Well, oh wait, you were the best. What?
Oh, during the Shelton brothers.
Okay.
Oh, Paul wants. You should have said earlier. He's going to bed.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even drop the link anywhere. This was just like, sorry, Paul. I'm going to end this one. I'm going to end this in like the next 2 or 3 minutes because I have work in the morning. I need to get up in like 6 hours.
You said you were going to end it like 20 minutes ago, but
I did. But next time I will definitely drop you the link. Yeah, but see, the thing is, the last time I went to a beer festival, this was literally the last beer festival I went to. I took a look at the boards and I was like, that's a 21% ABV double ice-boxed barrel-aged imperial stout. I'll have it. That's what I'm going to start this festival with. And it went downhill from that. When I go to beer fests, I always go with the idea of let's have some low ABV beers so I stay sober. And I start with the biggest fucking bullshit I can find. And then just everything goes
come to London in August if the Netherlands goes onto the green list. Come to the Netherlands. Come to London.
No. It's about if you go on the green list because you're not on our green list.
I don't know how. Yeah. Our number of cases is like the lowest in Europe. So how does that, How does that work?
I know. We'll talk about that in private.
And beer fests are hard because like it's usually like the higher ABV things that go first because it's hyped. Yeah. So like you're like if you want to try it, you want that first, but really you don't want to drink that first.
No, because the thing is that specific beer, I was like, that's going to be sold out within half an hour.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it was still there, but I was like,
because I'm sad like that. What I do, a lot of the festivals I go to, they announce what beer is going to be like a week or two before. So what I do, quite sadly, a bit geeky, I put every single beer in the festival into a like a list, like a private list, my Untapped, and then what's the highest rated downwards, and then
I get
that why. Yeah. Not I mean, it's not. I mean, there's going to be beers that are better than some of the top ones that have been rated, but But I try and hit those if I can. Say the top 5 at least, and then just chill out after that. You ain't gonna be able to do them all anyway. But
because actually, it's also kind of like a good. I don't want to say good idea. I'll just use idea. But going for the bigger beers first, because every brewery has like their 3% or 4% beers.
Yeah, they're just there.
All of those are left over afterwards. So like if you hit the few big ones that you want, and then just settle for the because usually, especially at beer festivals, as far as
I normally hit about 5 of the big ones I want, and then But the thing is, a lot of these festivals, it's like an all-in thing. you pay for your ticket, which includes all your beer and stuff like that. So you can just throw the beer away. You think, oh, that's all right, but it's not great. Just sling it. You're saving your drunkenness to a degree.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I just
Saving drunkenness. What?
Well, do you know what I mean? You're going to get too drunk, but then there's other beers you want to try. So I'd rather get drunk than them, you know?
That's a good point. But what I often see is some of these people at these beer festivals, they're like, I'm only going to drink the lower ABV beers. And then they have 10 of them. They have 10 of them. And they're still shit-faced. And then they want to go to the barrel-aged stuff. And then
that's just going to ruin yourself. I mean,
they're not even tasting the nuances of any barrel-aged or big barley, even if they're non-barrel-aged or whatever. At that point,
I'm doing the London Craft Beer Festival. That's 5 sessions, so in 3 days.
That's a good show.
I'm going to be dead, but it's going to be fun. So.
I could be dead. That's cool. I'll be dead with you.
I will. It's not good for you, but
there's a lot of stuff that isn't good for me that I'm still enjoying.
But I'm going to pace myself because I'm there for 5 sessions, so I can pace and eat more food. You know, there's not going to be the rush.
I'm drinking nothing but stuff 5% likes. Fuck it.
Right, look at that. Christ.
Yeah.
1 2.
Well, actually, that sounds pretty fucking good, guys. It's been 2.5 hours. Literally, I'm not even joking. My alarm clock goes in 6 hours and 20 minutes. I have to work in the morning.
Yeah.
I need to get the fuck out of here and actually do this sleep thing.
Fair dues.
Which I'm not going to have to. This is the last of the.
Indeed.
Judy and I have to go for a walk before it gets dark.
I've got 3 festivals I've booked so far.
Shit, dude, we don't even have festivals confirmed yet, so you're in a sweet spot.
They might not go ahead yet, but we'll have to wait and see how this fucking Indian variant goes.
That's the one. That's the biggest one. Let's see how that goes, and then we'll see what happens.
At the moment, our numbers have been flatlining for about a month or so.
If it stays like that, you guys are doing pretty good. So I'm hoping ours will as well. Yeah, Craig and Keith and Craig. Thank you guys very much for joining. And Matt, was awesome having you here as well. This is all still reviewable on Matt's channel as well, even though he hasn't been here for a while because he chickened out.
Yeah.
Loser.
Cheers, Joe, by the way. You take care.
Yeah. So everybody who was joining us in the chat, especially Joe and Paul, you guys were amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And even though this entire subject went haywire everywhere, I think we kind of talked about what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It was fun. And I had a great Sunday evening and Sunday afternoon, actually, for Keith. Craig, I hope you sleep well.
Will do.
We'll talk soon. You know where to find me if you need to talk. Same goes for you, Keith. And I wish both of you a very good week.
I'll be on Friday. No doubt I'll do
next Friday, I have people over because I can have more. Yeah, right. I finally have the chance to have more than one person over here, so I'm having some friends over.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I probably won't be there.
That's right. It'll be there.
But, yeah,
it'll be there if you want to.
I'll be there here. I'll be there here.
Or bring them on as well. There you go.
Oh, it'll be fine. Keith,
get drunk, get them all drunk and come on.
Oh, that could be fun. I will do that. Keith, I will definitely not steal Katie from you because I'm not worthy of Katie. I am not worthy of Katie, and you are actually.
I don't believe you.
No, actually, I from what I've been seeing, there is no one who is more capable of being there and being the most perfect partner for Katie than you are. So you don't have to worry about anything.
Well,
you two are awesome, and you two.
It got weird for a second, right?
Yeah,
Was that a threat, Thomas?
Jesus.
No, yeah, totally. You two in reviews. Actually, you two in reviews are a highlight. Whenever I see a review and it's the both of you together, it's a highlight of my day.
Oh yeah, because she's way better at it than I am.
No, it's because the interaction between you two, and you two are amazing together.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you guys have a great evening, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay.
As well.
Bye bye. Cheers.
See you later, everyone.
Bye, Tom.
Bye.
Bye.